Mahavatar Babaji World Communication, December 2022. Greetings one and all from the Himalayas and eternity with the divine. It's December. It's that time of year when people all over this world create an upliftment of values in life and are looking forward to celebrating a new year. Mahavatar tells a story. Once at a time of Christmas celebrations around this world, I went to a place where the yogis live in caves in the Himalayas. There, I visited a certain yogi who had resurrected himself from the depths of depression and degradation in the world of Maya. Following his rebirth into remembering who he really is and will be forever, the eternal Atma, he indeed, to this day, helps hold the God-given genetic energy of humanity replicating itself, not the genetic engineering of humans. Human genetics is a branch of biology that studies how human traits are determined and passed down through the generations. This yogi knows the great secret of the Creator's creation of human genetics. The yogi shared his story with me of how his enlightenment engineered a divine vision and connection with the Supreme Lord, union with the divine. Upon his surrender to the great Lord of Being, he was given his mission in his long life, which now, through this great vision and change, extended before him like a crystal moonlight shining on a high Himalayan lake. So, it is that this yogi's story is a simple example of the challenging journey each soul must take to attain the Supreme Lord himself. The nuances of such a journey are objectified into each one's mission and development to help guide one's surrender to the Guru and the Supreme Lord. The gold seal of approval by the divine is bestowed when one has attained the goal of life, God realization. May all humanity in the coming year of 2023, on the horizon of time as known on earth, be ready and lovingly install the grace of God and Guru into any New Year resolutions you may feel guided to make. Like this, your life will be uplifted and enhanced in the year of our great Lord, 2023. Sending love, grace, and blessings to one and all, Mahavatar Babaji, immortal champion of all people everywhere. From Swamini Vishwalakshmi Babaji spoke of God-given genetic energy in this message video. This story poem tells the story of a vision given by Mahavatar Babaji in June 2006 when I went to be with my Satguru, Paramahamsa Vishwananda, in Johannesburg, South Africa. The second time I was with him physically in this lifetime. Voice of Eternity, Mahavatar Babaji. A cosmic vision came in South Africa in the beautiful home of Kalindi, who became my friend and someone who resonates with the poetry herein, in which I wish to emulate Mirabai and her love and devotion for Krishna. Human and Divine Genetics. Story poem by Swamini Vishwalakshmi. The room was filled with a radiant, luminous great light in the early morning dawn, like a sacred Om that fateful day in Johannesburg, South Africa in 2006. The disciple lay sleeping in a guest bedroom just beyond the lovely, wide and winding marble staircase in the beautiful home of a devotee of Satguru Sri Paramahamsa Vishwananda. The disciple awoke perspicuously, with no transition between deep sleep and awakening. Suddenly, the light changed to that of etheric white celestial light, and a familiar voice echoed through the corridors of time. In what sounded like the flute of Krishna, "I am a gene carrier," said the heavenly voice that the disciple recognized as that of Mahavatar Babaji. Please understand, Babaji's voice is soundless, but can be heard through light waves he sends into the sensory brain waves of the disciple with whom he wishes to communicate. Mahavatar says, when one realizes one's unity with someone, all become transmitting receptors through which one can communicate at will. At Paramahamsa Vishwananda's darshan the night before this blessed vision, the story of which I share with you now, the disciple had obtained 2 pictures, one of Satguru Sri Paramahamsa Vishwananda and one of the Param Guru Mahavatar Babaji. The disciple had known Babaji since 1985 and had just met Paramahamsa Vishwananda 3 months before on March 27, 2006. The disciple looked at the 2 pictures and then placed them on the bedside table so that they could be seen together in the moonlight filtering through the window as sleep descended. It looked as if a family resemblance reflected a kinship within these 2 faces in the pictures. It seemed as if Gurudev and Babaji, if it were that they were physical only, could be brothers or father and son, like that. This dawn, with the luminescent celestial light and voice filling the entire room, were as if the light and the voice were all that is. The wall suddenly opened, and the disciple stood facing Mahavatar Babaji in the Himalayas in India. Mahavatar raised his hand, and the disciple turned and beheld ahead. The whole earth lying flat in front of Babaji, with each continent clearly delineated, visible, and defined. On each continent, in its own place, a young woman dressed in a robe of white stood there quietly, with arms held close to each side of the body. Mahavatar sent beams of golden white light from his right hand facing forward, which entered the heart and navel of each young woman. These ones stood there looking at Babaji, poised and peaceful, with hands now moved into the pranam position of love, respect, and devotion to the divine, as it is in the Hindu tradition. Behold, as the light beams of light sent from Babaji's right hand entered its designated entry points, suddenly each woman held a baby in her arms wrapped in a white, soft baby blanket. A memory surfaced from deep within. This was reminiscent of the Immaculate Conception of the Christ in his time before birth and afterwards when he became the teaching, "Behold, I am the way, the truth, and the light." And so, it is that each disciple of the Satguru and Param Guru is blessed with the teaching that one is ready to receive. When the disciple is prepared, the Satguru and the Param Guru come. Be ready, for each one's time to realize these things descends into the heart and soul through the love and grace these enlightened ones offer to one and all. And the Satguru Paramahamsa Vishwananda said when he called the disciple to him in the garden as the disciple was leaving South Africa, "How is it in there?" he asked as he divinely, lightly tapped the disciple in the heart area. The disciple answered, "I love you," much to her surprise, for it was like the newest news to this one. The Satguru said to the disciple, as he was told of the voice and vision, "I will tell you one thing, my dear. Your path this lifetime is with MAHAVATAR BABAJI." Echoes of MAHAVATAR BABAJI's voice filled the air. "I am a gene carrier," humbly but firmly said the Immortal One. The vision of the young women holding newborn babies is synonymous with something Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. "I am the Father who casts the seed." Krishna, Paramahamsa Vishwananda, and Mahavatar Babaji are one. A disciple of one is a disciple of all three. So be it. Jai Gurudev.